Anyone out here? Jerry says hello. Ein dicker Moppel und ein zweiter dicker Moppel. Ah, hallo. Ein bisschen brav. So, guck mal. Hello, hello. Pretty kitty. Pretty kitty to be seen here. So, we wait till the first guests come by. But as you will see in my video later, I just say hello right now, even if I have no guests as yet. Just a fat cat. Some jazzy background music. A lot of you liked that last time, so I do it again. Unwind Station is the channel's name, and it's royalty-free music. So, dear YouTube, don't get it down, my video, because of the music. It's royalty-free. So, and well, the cat's face says it all. It says practically, let me down. So, ja, ne? Ja. So, there you see it. As I know Jerry, he will go to sleep right now. And yes, now the official announcement by YouTube saying, yeah, I started my live stream. Okay, no one here as yet, but I will still go on because I know many of my guests, they join later or they watch my live stream when it's later, when it's uploaded. Well, as you see, my background decoration has changed a bit again. Halloween has gone, and the squirrels and the pumpkins are stored away in the cupboard waiting for next year. And well, here is the Christmas candle. It's not quite a Christmas candle because Christmas in our family always started with the 1st of Advent, which will be at the end of November this year. I think the 26th or 27th of November is the first Advent Sunday. And that's when Christmas decorations and everything start, at least in this home, in this family. And we keep the Christmas decoration on until 6th of January. Yeah, the celebration of the Three Magi, this Heilig Dreikönigsfest. It's a good Catholic tradition, and as I live in a Catholic environment, and I joined in, or my family joined in, and so we keep the Christmas decoration up till the 6th of January. But after that, it's finished. Then we're looking forward to summer. It's a little bit early, but yeah, there's of course in February, March, there's the carnival season going on in Germany, which started on the 11th of November at 11 o'clock in the morning, so 11. Well, the fools of all genders, they had a very, very merry carnival season start this November. Hello, Radhika, Pet Stewart, Radhika, thank you very much. Jerry and I, we say thank you very much for joining and for becoming friends. I will friend back later. Thank you so much, my dear. And yes, wo war ich? But yeah, yes, carnival season, right. Well, they had a very good season start. The checkered crew on 11th of November, because it was a bright, almost summer day, very bright, very sunny, not too cold. You have also a cat. That's good to hear. Where are you from? Are you from the US? Or from Canada? Just ask him because you're my new friend. And yeah, and they're looking forward to a very bright February and March, of course, because they want to celebrate. Ach nee, Colorado. Oh, God bless you too, my dear. 6 o'clock in the morning. Oh dear. And you're from India. So, USA and India. Welcome, welcome, two of you. Oh, Colorado, I know Colorado Springs. My mother had a schoolmate who was later married by a GI, or she married a GI. GI Joe, by the way, his first name really was Joe. And so from Bavaria, she went to Colorado and lived in Colorado Springs. Anthony, yes, please communicate, my dear friends, it's good. But yes, Anthony, that's the way the cookie crumbles. Yeah. That's why we went to Colorado Springs several times in the 90s. And later on, the school friend of my mother's, she became unfortunately fatally ill, so we couldn't visit her anymore. But I've been to Colorado City, I think 3 or 4 times. She's still, yeah, she has passed, unfortunately. Yeah, very sad. Oh, my mother, she was totally down the drain. She was, oh, poor Rosie has left us. But she had cancer, and it was detected too late, unfortunately. Yes. And dear Rosie, she was really, such a good soul, almost too good for this world. And she firmly believed in angels and in everything supernatural, but especially the good supernatural things, so not like demons and devils, but she believed in angels and in sacred spirits. And my mother always used to say, Rosie is an angel on this earth herself, and now she's with the angels. Yeah, and that's the reason why we went to the USA, of course, but not to Colorado. Yes, Anthony, that's, how shall I say, in my family, there runs what we Germans call the second phase, das zweite Gesicht. So sometimes you feel that a person will become sick or will die in the future. My mother's mother, my grandmother, she was really afflicted, as she said. She was afflicted with that gift, or as she said, curse. And but she told us, oh, I met this one and that one today, and he or she is going to have bad luck. I know that. Yes, but she never told the persons. She did that when she was younger, and then, you know, we live in the countryside, and very quickly you become famed as a sort of village witch. So, yeah, thank you from my side too. So my grandmother, even when she was a young girl, she stopped that. She stopped doing it. She said, I don't want to have this reputation as a village witch or something like that. And people flock by and want to know the fortune being told by me. I will tell nobody what I see or what I feel. She said she didn't see it, but she felt it. But she told us. And it was eerie. Yeah, God-given talent. She always said it's a curse. She said, I don't want to know what will happen to this person, but I know it. What shall I do? It's, Anthony's channel has no videos, yes, which is a pity. I think he has a Chihuahua. Or is Anthony the name of the Chihuahua? I think yes. Yeah, but he's still a very, very good friend, and I'm very happy to meet him here, almost in person. And yeah, that's two playlist videos. Yeah, okay. Anthony, I will check too later. Yeah, and that gift, I don't have that gift as much. My mother had it a little bit, yes, but only a little bit. She didn't dabble very deep into this, and I don't quite have it. I think I had it more as a child, but when I grew older, this gift, so to say, left me, and I don't miss it. By the way, many people, of course, in my acquaintance, when I was at school or in university or later on, yeah, subscribe to Anthony, please subscribe to Anthony. He's such a dear soul. And yes, and of course, in school or in the university, you meet people who say, yeah, I can read the palms, I can lay tarot cards, I can read your future. I always refuse it. I never wanted to know a bit about my future. I said I try to shape the future myself, with or without God's help, who knows, but I don't want to know. Yeah, maybe. Maybe Anthony, that's that. But as far as the supernatural things go, I like to watch these ghost hunting on YouTube or other channels. When people equipped with all the modern technology, they go to lost places and try to communicate with the spirits. I'm very skeptical of that. And usually it turns out as a hoax, of course, and but people get clicks by that. It's of course it's clickbait. If I do a video of a lost place, you remember maybe my video of the lost place of this little restaurant. It was I think even a very short video. If I had captured that like a ghost encounter in an abandoned restaurant or so, I would have generated 200,000 clicks, I guess. But I'm not like that. So I was there and I heard a certain whoosh whoosh, but that was the wind in the empty windows. So there was no ghost. And as I said, I'm skeptic. As soon as I see a ghost or talk to one, I'll be the first one to say, okay, I realize all this is true, but until then, it's, yeah. The only thing is that my mother, she was a heavy smoker. And my grandfather, he was a gifted cook, and he loved to cook his local cuisine. He came from Hungary, Croatia, what is now Osijek, what is now Croatia, but in 1918, when he was born, it was Hungary, this region. And he loved the Hungarian and later Croatian cuisine. And he cooked a lot with garlic and, with these extreme spices. So sometimes when I come home, oh, you see, okay, that's when I first see it, I believe it. And as I say, I now live in my grandparents' apartment practically, which has been totally renovated. There are only two, this painting and two cupboards are the only things that remain. All the other things have been totally renewed. New carpets, new wallpaper, everything new. And above is the apartment of my parents. And this has totally been renovated too, even more so. It's practically empty. Everything is new. Even the hardwood floor has been totally cleared and made new again. Very expensive and very dirty, but now it looks fantastic. There's practically nothing left of my parents. But still, when I come home from work sometimes in the evening, and as I said, this house is clean, it's renovated, it's practically new, and I'm in the hallway, and I smell smoke, like not burning, but of somebody smoking a cigarette. And the faintest smell of cigarette, since my mother has passed in 2020 and 3 years before she was in the seniors home, so she left this house in November 2016. And from this time on, no cigarette has been lit here. And not in this apartment, not in the other, not in the hallway, nothing. Yeah, I don't smoke, my friends don't smoke, nobody. And still, and as I said, I had this apartment totally renovated to remove the smell of cold smoke. It's like when you inhale, it's like you smell paint, but that's it. But I do get this whiff of smoke, of somebody smoking. And sometimes when I'm in the kitchen, here in this kitchen, in the grandparents' apartment, and I do a lot of salads or like that, I don't cook with spices practically. I mustn't do it due to my health, so I use a little bit salt, that's it. But still, sometimes I get the whiff of garlic, of these heavy spices. Thank you in the name of Radhika. And so that's the only thing where I can say that I have this slight hello from my grandfather and from my mother. The one is smoking, the other is cooking with this, as I said, with onions and all that, and you get this smell. But it's only a second, then the smell is gone, totally gone. And I had this same feeling when I was with a very, very good friend of mine, and he didn't smell anything. I said, oh, oh my God. I really said that. I said, oh, mom is smoking again. And I said, oh, yeah, your mom has passed several years back. And I said, yes, I know that. But from time to time, I get the whiff of her cigarettes. And she smokes cigarettes with a vanilla streak or honey streaks, a little bit sweetish scent. And it's exactly the scent. And he didn't smell a thing. So, no, it's just paint. Do you smoke? I said, no, I don't. But from time to time, I get this whiff. And he said, that's greetings from your mom. I said, yes, I know. And yeah, and as for my grandfather still cooking in his kitchen, it's very rare, but occasionally. And then I always say, Granddad, thank you very much, but I have eaten already. I don't need your soup or so much. And then it stops. Yeah, maybe odors from the spirit world. Maybe. I never see a thing. I never hear a thing. No poltergeist and no things like. And my grandfather, he was a very sturdy man, and he was from the Balkan region, and he was like that. And so if I heard some knocking or so, I would say, okay, that's grandfather hitting against the wall again or something like that. No, I don't hear any knocking, any noises, nothing. It's just this smell, this odor, as you said, the odor, and only these two things. My mother smoking and my grandfather cooking, because he was very modern man, built in 1918, but very modern. And he did the cooking, and my grandmother also, but she didn't like to cook. My mother didn't like to cook, and I don't cook at all practically. I only do some salads. And so my grandfather, he did the cooking mainly. And as I said, it was the typical Balkan cuisine with this typical odor, of course. And it was very yummy and very good. And I really miss his ayvar. He made this fantastic vegetarian ayvar. Full of chili and aubergine and how do we call it? This bluish. I know the German names, but not the English one. Sorry, but if you look it up, ayvar, Balkan delicatessen, fantastic. You can eat it with bread or without bread, and you can use it on pasta like a sauce. It's fantastic. And well, as I said, he did a lot of the cooking. Hello, Malau. Hello. Thank you very much for joining. Just, talk about the cooking habits of my dear departed grandfather. And so, okay, but that's my only encounters, so to say, with the supernatural, if you want it that way, and nothing more. As I said, no knocking noise. I don't see anyone. I think I would drop dead if I saw my father in the gangway or so. Oh, yes. Yes, good night, my dear Anthony. Thank you very much for having joined. And for Malau, who just came in, I present Jerry again. Jerry, look at his ears. He hates it. He hates it. No, he's doing fine. Look at his belly. He doesn't eat more than the other cat, but the other cat has a normal figure, and Jerry tends to explode. And Chica is standing at the door. She wants to go in the garden, but she's not allowed to because I just bathed her. Thank you very much, Malau. If you have a question, go ahead. I have no topics, no preset topics in my live streams. I always see who's with me, then I react. Sometimes I talk about politics. And Anthony, have a good night's sleep. All the best to you. And I will be happy to read from you again. And maybe you will post some more videos. That would be cool. And as I said, so I don't have any preset topics. I just wait what my guests ask. If they don't ask anything, I just go on, talk about politics or things that happen in my life, which is not very much because of, I'm almost retired now, almost retired. So my retirement will be next July. Yes. next July I will be in retirement. Then I will put out more videos and maybe more playlists. I don't want to open up a new channel. I will stick to this channel. But I have discovered, lately I've discovered a certain love for KI, künstliche Intelligenz, it's German, AI, artificial intelligence, for these little, I call them desktop robots. So like, Eilik or Eilik as you pronounce it. Something like that. I really love these little robots. I've watched some videos the last 2 or 3 weeks, and I decided to get one for myself. Eilik, I will call it Eilik because it has some Eilik. It's a funny connotation. If you look it up, there are lots of videos on YouTube about Eilik. And there's another robot with a shorter name, very short name, like Mod or something. It's very short name, which also looks very cute. So maybe I will get that one too. Just let's see. And but as I said, I already ordered the Eilik, so I think I will post some videos with this little robot later on and how my animals react to a robot. Normally they're very afraid of electrified things. I have a Christmas train, a battery-driven Christmas train, which I tried out last year. It was, I have it on video. Yes, our Christmas village in 2019. This playlist. If you look it up, you will see the Christmas train, and the cats. They were hanging on the ceiling with fear. They saw that, and when they saw, they already did like that. And when I set it in motion, this Christmas train, they totally went berserk. They began to screech and to scream and then to run. And as I said, almost clung at the ceiling with fear. And so I put them out, made the video, and then put the cats back in and stored the Christmas train away, so not to frighten them anymore. I don't know how they will react with this little robot, with Eilik. I have no idea. If I only knew what the other name was. There was another robot very similar to that, but Eilik has only hands. He cannot walk. He has a plate. He's standing on a plate, which also powers him. It's the charging station too. And he is just these giant eyes and his arms. And the other robot, which name I don't remember right now, it was a short name. He has also, big eyes, but he has feet. And he does funny things with his feet, so he can walk. But he has no arms. So I ordered the one with arms and no legs, and I'm interested in the other one as well. The name escapes me all the time. So, and he's made by, what's the name of I think Artificial AI or so is the company's name. Well, my next video I will know the name. And so that's my new, I won't call it hobby, but it's interesting. And maybe I will start playing the piano again, the piano which you see in the background. Now there's just a clock and candle and everything, and but below is a Yamaha, an electric piano, and maybe I will activate that again. And I once played the piano, but I haven't been playing the piano since my dad has passed, since 2014, because he loved to hear me play the piano, and he was the one who always encouraged me and said, yes, go on, play and play. And when he left, well, I was not so much interested to go on. And always when I played the piano, I thought of my daddy, and I remembered him sitting there and listening, and I just couldn't bear it. So I gave up the piano playing, but maybe I will take it up again next year. After 9 years, I think I'm over it. So. Just let's wait and see. In the meantime, this piano is a nice little table. So that's what I plan for next year. As I said, my retirement, or it's not a complete retirement, it's an early retirement, of course. I'm 60, and next year 61. And in Germany, usually, I was born in 62, of course, you guessed it. So, of course, I would have to work till 66 and some months. And I wouldn't like to do that. I have many reasons why I won't do it. Because I pay a lot of taxes. And I know where this tax money goes. I think every German taxpayer knows where his or her money goes. And I don't want to keep up this system any longer. I don't want to get problems with YouTube. That's why I won't say any more. But dear fellow Germans, you know probably what I'm talking about. So I know that there are taxes on the rent too. Yes, in Germany you pay taxes 2 times. First, when you're active in your professional life, depends on how many children you have or if you have children at all, but you pay up to, not quite, but up to 45, almost 50% of your income in taxes. So yeah, you earn 4,000 and you keep 2,000 at the end of the month. No, the rest is to the tax office, and yeah, and then you know what the state does with your money. I see it every day. Thank you very much, not for me. And yes, when you are retired, the retirement money also is being taxed. So you're getting taxed 2 times. First when you're active, and second when you're, so to say, passive. Yeah, so have the passive life. You also pay taxes, not as high, not this high percentage, but also a good deal. So you get in tax, as I said, 2 times. And but then, as I said, the percentage is not as high, and I don't work then. Yeah, I don't have to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning and drive each time 120 kilometers to my working place, and I don't have this expenses and that expenses, and that all adds up. So along with my tax consultant, I made a little calculations several years back already, and well, she also said, like my friends, hello Louis, schönen guten Tag, willkommen beim Stream, Dankeschön. And well, she too said, it's not worthwhile. Yeah, just go into early retirement. You lose a little bit of your retirement money. The rest is, as I said, being taxed, but you have so many advantages. I made several private insurances when I was young, in my 30s and early 40s. These insurances are now getting paid out. Starting from the 1st of December this year, so in 3 weeks I will get my first private retirement money, and then there will, from the insurance, and as I have 3 or 4 insurances, by and by this insurance money, which I paid for decades, now rolls back, so to say. And I can live easily from that. That's good, even if I get sick or if the pets get sick or so. Yeah, we won't have, I hope so, I really hope so, we won't have financial problems at least. It will be taken care of. But of course, you need these private insurances. Without them, I don't know. I just wanted to be on the safe side. And it really saved, so to say, my parents when they got elderly and sick. And of course, they had their rent and everything, but in addition, they had this insurance money, and it was really, really helpful. Ja, ach so, ja, jetzt kann ich mal auf Deutsch weitermachen. Yeah, we have German viewer. One German viewer, so I continue in German now. Ja, ich gehe noch nicht jetzt in Rente, sondern im Juli. Also bis Juli bin ich noch im Hamsterrad tätig. So, also ich bin ja eh nur auf Teilzeit, ne? Also es ist jetzt nicht so wild, aber es reicht dann auch. Aber wie gesagt, bis Juli bin ich da noch tätig, und ab Juli gehe ich dann in so eine Art vorgezogene Ruhestand. Das ist, mein Arbeitgeber bietet das an, hat jetzt auch nicht jeder Arbeitgeber. Das ist passive Altersteilzeit. Also ich bin jetzt in der aktiven Altersteilzeit, arbeite praktisch normal, aber für ja, doch weniger Gehalt. Man spürt es, ja, ist doch, also 300, 400 Euro weniger, das merkt man auch. Aber wenn ich dann ab nächsten Juli in die passive Altersteilzeit gehe, bekomme ich das Geld, was ich jetzt bekomme, mit Arbeit, mit allem, 3 Jahre lang, sozusagen, nicht für ich habe ja dafür gearbeitet, aber das ist wie gesagt gespaltet. Also 3 Jahre hat man aktive Altersteilzeit, in der man normal arbeitet, aber weniger Gehalt bekommt. Und danach kommen 3 Jahre passive Altersteilzeit, in dem man dieses, ich sag mal, etwas niedrige Gehalt weiterhin bekommt, obwohl man nicht mehr aktiv im Arbeitsleben ist. Und da, wenn diese 3 Jahre um sind, beginnt meine vorgezogene Altersrente, also die sozusagen offizielle Rente. Die ist natürlich etwas reduziert, ein paar Prozent, weil ich ja, wie gesagt, die vorgezogen habe. Dann wäre ich, warte mal, 1, 2, 3, 4, 64, genau, 65, so, 65 und 4, oh Quatsch, was rede ich, 64,5, so. Und würde normalerweise mit 66 und etwas in Rente gehen. Und daher, wie gesagt, bekomme ich ein bisschen Punkte abgezogen. Das macht aber nichts. Und das kriege ich dann sozusagen in Anschluss an die passive Altersteilzeit dann in 3,5 Jahren. Das ist also ein sehr schönes Modell. Wie gesagt, das mit dem etwas weniger Geld, das wird vom Arbeitgeber auch gut ausgeglichen. Ja, ich meine, es fehlt immer noch ein bisschen was, aber deswegen heißt es ja Altersteilzeit. Ne? Also man macht dann, kriegt aber, wie gesagt, das ist das Schöne. Man kriegt weniger Geld, indem man, während man 3 Jahre arbeitet, aber man bekommt das Geld dann auch weiterhin, wenn man dann 3 Jahre nicht mehr arbeitet. Ne, das ist ein cooles Modell. Ich hoffe, dass sie nicht vorher jetzt noch länger krank wird oder so. Aber toi, 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 gleich auf Holz, ne? Sieht nicht so aus und das ist dann eine ganz gute Sache. Ja, genau, genau. Und das bietet mein Unternehmen auch jetzt nicht mehr so an. Die haben natürlich auch Einbußen gehabt durch Corona. Ich sage jetzt mit Absicht nicht, welches Unternehmen es ist, aber es ist ein sehr, sehr, sehr großes Unternehmen, das auch weltweit vertreten ist. Und das Geschäft weltweit, also mit unseren Dependancen im Ausland, das läuft wirklich sehr gut, Gott sei Dank. Muss ich auch sagen, auch während der Corona-Zeit konnte man sich auf unsere ausländischen Beteiligung gut verlassen. Da kam, um es mal salopp zu sagen, gut Kohle rein, was jetzt hier erstmal in Deutschland da auch mal erwirtschaftet werden muss. Aber wir sind jetzt wirklich über den Scheitelpunkt hinweg. Also jetzt geht es wieder los. Ja, der Umsatz steigt wieder. International, wie gesagt, hat er eigentlich kaum gelitten, also trotz der Pandemie, was mich auch erstaunt, aber hat gut funktioniert. Und ja, da sagen wir natürlich auch, wir sind sehr froh, dass wir jetzt sozusagen wieder Geld reinbekommen. Und das Altersteilzeitmodell belastet natürlich mehr den Arbeitgeber. Ja, das ist, ja, den Arbeitnehmer auch. Wie gesagt, man arbeitet ja 3 Jahre lang für ein geringeres Gehalt, hat aber dann, wie gesagt, den Vorteil, dass man dann Arme verschränkt zurücklegen und dann 3 Jahre lang dieselbe Kohle dann weiter bekommt. Also es ist eher verlustreich, sage ich mal, für den Arbeitgeber. Ja, weil der ja auch sagen könnte, nix, also du machst es bis zur normalen Rente. Und wenn du meinst, dass du in Teilzeit gehen musst, kannst du es machen, aber dann mit den normalen Abzügen. Also das ist, ja, wie ich dann halt meinte, für den Arbeitgeber eher ein Verlustgeschäft, so in the long run. Und die werden es jetzt auch wahrscheinlich nicht mehr so anbieten. Also ich habe ja jetzt von Kollegen gehört, die etwas jünger sind als ich, die sich auch für das Modell interessieren, die da schon bei der Personalwirtschaft waren und sich erkundigt haben. Die Firma sagt nein. Also nein, das konnten wir uns auch leisten prä-Corona. Aber jetzt, ja, es kommt wieder Geld rein, aber das müssen wir eben auch investieren und anlegen. Und auch, also mein Unternehmen ist auch relativ überaltert, also ein Altersdurchschnitt von 40 bis sogar 45, was alt ist, also muss ich sagen, ja. Und wir wollen jetzt auf einen Altersdurchschnitt kommen, so von, ich sag mal, Mitte 30. Und also wir brauchen jüngere Leute, deswegen, also auch Leute wie ich haben da natürlich Glück, weil es dann heißt, ja, geh in Altersteilzeit, geh dann in Rente, geh mit Gott, aber geh. Und weil auch meine Generation, wir sind natürlich auch ein bisschen teurer, ne? Ich wurde dann 91 eingestellt. Ja, ich habe was mitgebracht, natürlich Uni-Abschluss und so weiter und so fort, aber auch heute werden Leute eingestellt, auch mit Uni-Abschluss und bekommen dann so, sag mal, wenn man das jetzt gegenüberhält, weniger als ich. Ja, das ist also das ist ganz einfach so. Und da sagen die, okay, die teuren Alten, auf die Weise werden wir so gut los, Win-Win sozusagen, auch wenn wir erstmal einen Verlust machen, aber wie gesagt, das investieren wir ja dann auch praktisch in ja, neuere jüngere Mannschaft, die wir dann hier an Bord holen können. Die haben auch etwas andere Bezahlmodelle. Und da freuen sich alle, bis auf die, die halt neu an Bord kommen, dass sie dann vielleicht dann sagen, nach so 1, 2 Jahren, okay, die Kohle jetzt so ganz so doll ist es nicht, ich gehe zu einem anderen Unternehmen. Das mag ja durchaus sein. Aber jedenfalls für meine Generation, ich sage mal bis Jahrgang 65, so was man so hört von Kollegen, ist das eine super Lösung, die dann noch angeboten wird und die wird wahrscheinlich so in der Form und in der Häufigkeit dann künftig nicht mehr angeboten werden können. Da habe ich mich gerade noch rechtzeitig gemeldet. Wie gesagt, ich habe jetzt eine Kollegin, die ist Jahrgang 65. Da haben sie schon gesagt, also zurzeit haben wir das Programm nicht, aber ne, seien Sie nicht traurig, wahrscheinlich in 1, 2 Jahren legen wir es doch nochmal kurzfristig auf. Ja klar, um die letzten Alten aus dem Unternehmen zu kriegen, ohne großes Betriebsratsgedöns und so. Und dann haben wir praktisch eine jüngere Mannschaft auch und damit starten wir dann auch durch. Und dann wird sich wahrscheinlich auch die Firmenleitung dann auch ändern. Bis dahin wird sie sich auch dann zum einen ausdünnen, zum anderen auch verjüngen, weil wir haben da so ein paar, die jetzt auch so Anfang bis Mitte 60 sind, wo man auch sagt, die gehen in den nächsten 2, 3 Jahren. Perfekt, also sehr schön. Also ich weiß es von meinem Papa, mein Vater hatte damals, es war ein anderer Arbeitgeber, war auch in Niedersachsen, nicht in Bayern, aber ähnlich. Es war eine ähnliche Situation, da war er auch immer sehr, sehr froh. Mein Gott, der Lichteinfall ist so plötzlich. Da war der Papa immer sehr froh, dass er das so praktisch dann machen konnte. Hat gesagt, ja, also lieber ein bisschen weniger Geld, aber dafür mehr Freizeit. Ich habe mehr Geld für meine Familie. Hat sich auch als segensreich herausgestellt, weil er dann sozusagen in den 60ern, also in seinen 60ern, einen Schlaganfall nach dem anderen bekommen hat und dann mit Krankenhausaufenthalt, Reha und mit allem drum und dran. Da wäre er ja praktisch arbeitsfähig jetzt auch gar nicht mehr gewesen. Aber bis dato konnte man noch schön Reisen machen und mit dem Vati wirklich auch viel machen können. Und das ist also wirklich, da muss ich sagen, Work-Life-Balance ist für mich ganz klar Balance Richtung Life. Also da kann ich auch jetzt einmal die jungen Arbeitnehmer verstehen, die dann kommen und sagen, ja, mich interessiert der Job, aber Work-Life-Balance, wie sieht es denn da bei euch aus? Ich kann das verstehen. Also viele von meiner Altersgruppe sagen auch, ja, die Jungschen, die jetzt so kommen mit ihrer Work-Life-Balance und nichts schaffen, wenn schaffen, dann möglichst nur Homeoffice und ja, und sich ausruhen, aber traumhafte Gehälter haben wollen. Den sage ich dann auch mal, sage ich, ja, Freunde, wart ihr nie 20, 30? Wir hätten es doch auch gemacht, ja, ganz klar. Ja, und wenn die ehrlich sind, sagen, naja, natürlich, wenn es die Möglichkeit gibt, dann wird man das machen. Eben genau. Nee, also das verdenke ich keinem. Und ich kann es auch nur jedem wirklich raten, der da also Kinder oder Enkelkinder hat in dem Alter, so ich sag mal so um die 20, 25 rum, ja, bestärkt die sollen das wirklich so machen. Dass sich da so krummelig schaffen, jetzt gerade in Deutschland so, ich habe es ja vorhin kurz erzählt, das Steuergeld geht ja auch für alles Mögliche drauf, sollte wirklich keiner. Nein. Also so, dass man gut zurechtkommt, dass man sich eine Altersvorsorge schafft, eine private, weil die öffentliche, also die gesetzliche Rente steht ja auch in den Sternen so ein bisschen, aber dass man sich privat eine Zukunft schafft und anlegt und aber wie gesagt, das Private, was ich gerade jetzt so sage, auch nicht zu kurz kommen lässt. Ne? Also auch mal so mehr Zeit für die Familie und nicht Wochenends durcharbeiten. Das kann man mal machen. Ja, habe ich auch schon gemacht. Ganz klar, wird auch für Projektleiter und so wird dann auch erwartet. Aber eben auch nicht dauerhaft. Und da gibt es ja wirklich Firmen, die auch also meine Firma ist auf dem Weg dahin, aber andere Firmen sind schon da viel weiter. Schon seit 90er Jahren, seit dem Millennium, bieten die zum Beispiel Flex Office an und solche Sachen. Was jetzt erst bei uns so allmählich, also in unser Unternehmen so reintröpfelt, haben andere Firmen, Deutsche wohlgemerkt, Ausländische erst recht, aber die Deutschen, haben die schon ewig, also mich nervt jetzt der Lichtanfall. Ich gehe mal kurz was. Ich glaube, so ist es besser. Schauen wir mal. Ja. Es ist immer noch blöd. Ich kann das Rollo nicht runter machen, das ist nämlich kaputt. Da brauchst du eine neue Antriebswelle und die wird erst nächste Woche montiert. Wenn ich das jetzt bewege, das Rollo, bin ich zwar nicht mehr so im Halblicht, sondern so, aber ich kriege das Rollo dann weder hoch noch runter. Also dann ratscht es wahrscheinlich runter und rührt sich gar nicht mehr. Deswegen lasse ich es jetzt auf der Stellung und ihr seht mich sozusagen im Halbdunkel oder im Halblicht. Die Sonne geht ja auch mal gerade schon so nach rechts, also in 10 Minuten ist es weg. Ja, wo waren wir? Wo war ich? Hallo Nobram. Hallo. I don't know if you speak German or English. Hi, my friend. Oh, then you're English. Just talking about my retirement next year, about the money. And I will continue a little bit in German now because I have German viewers, but then I will switch back to English. Und ja, genau. Ach ja, da waren wir jetzt richtig bei der Alter Work-Life-Balance, richtig genau. Also ich kann es halt wirklich nur jedem empfehlen. Macht's. Guckt euch um, wenn ihr gerade Job sucht oder einen neuen Job sucht, dass die Firmen das entsprechend anbieten. Ja? Also auch, wie gesagt, Mobile Office, das ist ja auch eine super Sache. Dass er also nicht fest an einem Arbeitsplatz sitzt, die nächsten, gut, das gibt es eh nicht mehr. Leute, die 30, 40 Jahre an einem Arbeitsplatz sitzen, das, also zumindest in Deutschland sieht das jetzt auch, die Tendenz eher wie in anderen Ländern, dass man das vielleicht so 10 Jahre, 20 Jahre macht. Klar, wenn man in Deutschland über 40 ist oder sogar schon über 35, je nachdem, aber meistens das magische Alter dann 40, wird es auch schwierig, einen neuen Job zu finden, weil sich da reinzufuchsen. Also viele Arbeitgeber sind nach wie vor so auf der Suche nach, ich sag mal, billig und willig und möglichst jung dann natürlich, dass man, okay, den letzten Job-Switch sozusagen mit 40 dann vielleicht macht und sagt, okay, die nächsten 20 Jahre dann, weil bis zur Rente, der dann vielleicht sogar noch mit 70 kommt oder was, möchte ich dann doch an einer Stelle arbeiten oder in einem Unternehmen arbeiten, aber bis dahin halt viel Erfahrung sammeln, auch in der Welt rumkommen, wenn das Unternehmen internationale Beteiligung hat. Ja klar, das ist super. Und da ist natürlich ein Flex-Office ideal. Da ist diese, wie gesagt, solche Regelungen wie Altersteilzeit und also ähnliche Regelungen gibt es ja auch in anderen Unternehmen und alles mitnehmen, was halt mitzunehmen geht. Dass man dann später so mit 60 dann doch sagen kann, okay, wenn ich mag, könnte ich mich jetzt zurückziehen vom Arbeitsleben und nicht, oh Gott, ich muss doch noch schaffen bis 70 oder 75 oder was. Es gibt ja schon jetzt die ersten, ich glaube die Grünen, aus der Ecke kamen da schon die Vorschläge, so Rente ab 75 dann. Da habe ich gesagt, ja, da seid ihr ja auch nicht von betroffen, klar, sondern die anderen. Da kann man dann auch aus der sicheren Ecke der Villa, Prenzlauer Berg, wie auch immer, kann man dann auch schöne Vorschläge machen, wie es dann sein soll für die anderen. Und die können ja dann bis 75 arbeiten, ja, das ist richtig. Haha. Und um solchen Extremfällen halt vorzubeugen, wenn man denn überhaupt in Deutschland dann sich eine berufliche Karriere aufbauen will, wie gesagt, also die Angebote in Anspruch nehmen und Flex Office zum Beispiel hätte ich in früheren Jahren jetzt auch gern genommen. Ich saß halt wirklich dann 4 Jahre lang mal da in dem Büro, es war immer ein Unternehmen, das ist ein großes. Ich habe halt nur die Abteilung gewechselt, öfters mal. Und dann 5 Jahre da in einem Büro, aber immer halt in festen Büros gesessen, obwohl man gleich ein Projekt hatte, das ganz woanders war. Man sagt ja, okay, ja, jetzt sitze ich in A und meine Location, also Projektlocation ist in B oder C. Ja, viel Spaß mit euren Freunden. Macht's gut, Dankeschön fürs Vorbeischauen und fürs Mitmachen. Macht es gut, meine Lieben. Küssi, tschüssi. So, ich beende trotzdem noch gerade den Satz. Also, ja, Kaffeezeit mit Freunden. Jetzt bin ich abgelenkt, Kaffeezeit. Nein, ich brauche den Satz auch nicht beenden. Also ich denke mal, ich habe ja jetzt mal meine Idee rübergebracht. Lasse weiterspielen. Ja genau, lass mich im Hintergrund deinen Freunden und euch viel Spaß. Ich trinke auf euer Wohl. Mit Kätzchen, nicht mit Hundi, aber mit Kätzchen. Und mit Löffel. Ah, ich hasse das. So, and now I think we have one guest left. I think that's the guest who just joined in, my international guest. I don't see your name anymore. By the way, this live feature with YouTube is very strange. I see the live chat, yes, and so I do react to you and to your comments, all that. And after the upload of the live video, of the live stream, the chat has gone. I already looked in the settings, and the settings says, yes, show the chat after the video has been uploaded. Yeah, there's a checkbox, you can put a check or, and I checked it. I checked, yes, show the chat after the video has been uploaded. No chance, no chance. That's why I always say, please leave a comment under this video and say just hello or I liked your stream or I didn't like your stream, whatever you want to write. But then I see your channel name and I can react, I can become friends with you. But if you leave your message during the chat, as I said, the chat disappears. And I already wrote to YouTube about that problem. The customer service is very good. They reacted and they said, no, you can, there's a checkbox. And I said, yes, I checked that. Yeah, but then there must be a problem with maybe with your YouTube app. So I tried it with a PC. I tried it with Apple. I have several equipments. And each time it was the same. So, maybe there is, how do they call this app? Prism, I think. You can do live chats with Prism and with countless others, I know that. But Prism stuck in my head because it was recommended to me. And Prism obviously shows the chat after the chat has been closed. So sometime I will try Prism. But Prism, I think, doesn't work with the smartphone. You have to use the PC or the MacBook, which is a little bit. I like to sit like this. I like you to see me that way. I like to see you that way. Yeah, I have the lighting here. It's perfect, practically. And my PC place is over here. Yeah, it's more in the corner. And if I stream from there, you have a other viewpoint. I don't like it as much as this viewpoint. It's a matter of taste as everything. So, and now I think I chatted for almost 50 minutes. Yes, I know that the German pension and retirement system is interesting. You can talk about that till midnight, practically. But I think I will stop now. If you don't have any more questions or any comments, I will just, as usual, grab a pet who isn't fast enough to run away. And then we both will wave bye-bye to you. Ah, Sudu! Yes, Sudu, hello! It's great to see you. I was about to say bye-bye, but now there's Sudu coming in. I hope you're doing... I know your name is not Sudu, I will just call you by your channel name. I hope you're doing great. How is Rover? I hope Rover is doing fine and growing. I think he's going to be a big boy. He's still a pup, but they grow so fast. No, I had one viewer left and I said, I will grab an animal and then we will both wave bye-bye if nobody has a question. And then you came in, Sudu. It was before. So, Sudu, I hope you're in good health. And then Rover is doing fine. You can post some more videos of Rover because he's a very, very beautiful dog. And I like that your channel name still is Sudu Cat because you're still attached to your Sudu. And after what happened to Sudu, it's great that you still have a dog. Other people would say, oh no, after what happened to my cat, I won't have a dog. But you have a dog, and that's good. I think you have to go on with life, and Sudu would be happy about that too. I'm sure. Oh, sorry for a moment. Rover is unlimited well. Das ist natürlich schön zu hören. That's nice to hear. Unlimited well. It's unlimited well, unlimited wealth. Also very good. Sehr schön. That's nice to hear. So, and as I said, you must put more videos of Rover, and because he's a very cute dog and a very smart dog. I think you taught him tricks already, so maybe you could show some Rover tricks. It's a pity you don't live in England. You could name your channel Rover in Dover or so. I'm being silly. But I will, if you want, I will grab an animal. Just a moment. Maybe a cat. Ah, okay, no, this is, exams are always more important. And I decided not to get a cat, but to get the doggy. No, she was asleep. I know, I'm a mean one. No? So, this is Lady Chica. No, come on here. Yes, she's really cute. And she's heavy. She's a hot dog and a heavy dog. Oh my goodness. Just say hello. Say yes, there, you've got it. Oh. Hello. She's a girl. Chica is female. Chica is Spanish for girl. If she was a boy, she would be a Chico. I once had a budgie, a male budgie, his name was Chico. Bye, einen schönen Sonntag, euch auch. Danke vielmals und hier ist Chica und die sagt auch Tschüss und wünsche euch noch einen schönen Sonntag. Yeah, she's very cute. She's just such a good doggy. Tomorrow we will go to the vet because she has some problems with her liver. And so tiny spots on the radar, on the ultra scan, they saw 2 dark spots. They don't know what it is, tumors, or they just don't know what it is. So tomorrow I will bring her to the vet and they will make they will extract a little bit of her liver just to show what it is, if she really has serious liver problems or not. As I said, they just take a small sample, but it's a tissue sample. So she has to be, ja, wie sagt man denn da, betäubt? She must be, wie sagt man da, betäuben? Put to sleep is so final. She won't be put to sleep, oh my God, no. But she will be made tranquil. She will get tranquilizers. Then they take the tissue sample. Then they will examine that sample, which will take about a week or so. And then I know if she has serious problems with her liver or if it can be cured with pills or drops or whatever. Or if she really needs a surgery, which I hope she doesn't need, but you never know, of course. And so tomorrow we have, as I said, the vet appointment. And yeah, but I must say, she doesn't behave like a sick dog. She's eating, she's drinking. She is, of course, she will be 13 in some weeks. On Christmas Day, she will turn 13, which is quite an age for a doggy. But she's like a young dog. She's very active, sleeps a lot, but she has always slept a lot, even as a young dog. So I'm used to that, of her snoozing and dozing all the time. But then she gets her zoomies, like the cats. And then she runs around. And when she's in the garden, she runs around non-stop. And she's very playful. And when I take her for a walk, she's acting like a young pup. And she doesn't behave like a sick dog at all. That's a very good thing. At least we have that. And tomorrow, as I said, let's see what the tissue test will bring. Yes, that's really good. Yes, I'm so happy. So, and now I'll let her down again. Ja, bisschen ins Körbchen. Ja. So, now heading back to her basket. And I'm full of fluff. I brush her every Sunday. We have a big brushing session, the dog and I. And the hair, I mean, of course, I brush it off. There's still some hair. She's very hairy and fluffy. Your dog doesn't walk? Rover? Don't take him for a walk. He's on in the yard, I guess. He will make you walk. Now, that's not bad. When Chica was new, when we got her almost 10 years back, she was 3 years old. Now she's almost 13. Back then she was 3. And she took us for a walk. Yeah, my parents were still alive then. And my dad, she ran so fast across the street one time that he fell. And well, she dragged my father behind her a little bit. And My mother the same. My mother was a very tiny, petite lady. Yes, you have to train him. I mean, Chica, she's half Spitz and she's half Dachshund and she has all kinds of dogs in her. She's a mongrel, so to say. But Rover, it's something else. I think he's a Rottweiler and a pedigree dog, and then it's better to train. Yes, yes. Yes, and then Chica, she made my mother fall. My mother, a very petite, small lady, and the dog it's a little dog. You see that, but still, she had that drive and she ran, and my mother, she just dropped. Yeah, Chica, she's 13, old lady, but yeah. My grandparents had a dog. He got almost 16. He passed and he was 15 and 10 months or so almost 16. And yeah, my father's parents also had dogs back in Hanover. One of the dogs died at 17. I know that. At that time, it was in the 50s or so, or early 60s. Now, of course, you have medication, you have totally new therapies and cures for sick dogs. Back then, of course, not. But still, this dog got 17, and it was a Pomeranian, I remember. Yes. Oh, what bad news, Sudu? What news did you hear? Now, of course, I'm curious. You have to tell me. The background music plays Happy Birthday. Yeah, it's Happy Birthday. Oh, your mom's sister's dog. So your auntie's dog has passed. How old was he? Was it an old dog, elderly, or a young one? Because young dogs, it's with people and with animals, it's the same. It's some 13 is a normal dog age. It's not, of course, you can say he could have lived to be 14 or 15, but 13 is a good age. That's why I'm a little bit horrified when Chica, she will turn 13 on Christmas Day. So she's still 12, but practically 13. But she's doing good. But of course, on the other hand, as I said, tomorrow is the tissue exam. If they find something, all I can say is German Shepherd. Yeah, German Shepherds are, if she's a pedigree German Shepherd, 13, 14 is the age. Most pedigree dogs, even Dachshund pedigree dogs, they even tend to die at an earlier age due to their back problems. The spine caves in because they are made that way, that they have very long spines and they cave in. Yes, absolutely. That's why I didn't want to have a pedigree Dachshund. I wanted some Dachshund, yes, as she's a mixture. It's a mongrel, the best of everything. But a pedigree Dachshund, as I said, they have these very long backs and they have spine problems. And sometimes the spines, or some of the spines, they cave in when the dogs got older. So pedigree Dachshunds of purest blood, so to say, they tend to get not older than 10 or 11 years. And no, those mongrel dogs, they are long lasting, they say. So I hope she lives up to at least 15. Who knows? It's with people. Some die at 6 years old, the others at 106. Recently I saw on TV a feature about the oldest German. And the oldest German is a lady who has now turned 113. 113. She looked like a woman of 85. Hello, Bella. Hello, street dog Bella. Welcome to our little doggy chat. Yes, Sudu, I see that. That's very great to hear. You really make progress. Yeah, we're all doing fine. Thank you very much. Bella, I hope you and your cats are doing, you and your dogs and cats are doing the same like. Thank you very much. Dankeschön. Yeah, we're just, Sud and I, we're just talking about the age of dogs, how old do they get? And I just said that pedigree dogs tend to die at a younger age. Of course, yeah, I mean, if you see this famous channel, Crusoe the Dachshund, or Doxy Din, it's another Dachshund, they are old dogs. They are also 12 or 13 and are still in very good shape, but because their owners do a lot for that, they pay highly expensive physiotherapy and cures and spas and everything. And yeah, Rover's, I think Rover is a Rottweiler, isn't he? If he is, he's like a rock, yes. So we have Sri Lanka, we have India, and we have Germany. So it's a multicultural mixture, very good. And Chica, by the way, she's from Italy. It's an Italian dog. She's from Venice. Whereas the cats are German cats. Yeah, I had one Russian cat who died at 13, 14. And yeah, yeah, it's with pets, it's everything is fine and happy until you have to say goodbye. And I must say, I'm very glad when tomorrow has passed so that I know her results. Hallöchen, tranquil, unique nature. So we're getting more and more, the gang gets together. Yeah, same to you. Thank you very much. I can say the same about you. Dankeschön. Yeah, one day you have to say goodbye to your pet, but the day will come, or the night, whatever. Tag! Yes, you're right. Tag! I forgot the Tamil word, but yes, Tag. Tag is colloquial German for hello. Tag, yeah. Tagchen. Tagchen means little day. So it's even more colloquial. You say Tag or Tagchen. But Tag is totally okay. It's fantastic. But the main thing is that you can say you did everything for your pet. Yeah, the pet had a good life in your home, and you have never been mean to your pet. Maybe once or twice when the pet does his or her business on your carpet, what Chica also did and the cats did. I have 2 male cats, so there's still a rivalry. They are sterilized, but still there are 2 males and still fighting for the dominating part. And in that fights, they tend to pee on my carpet. And Chica saw that, and then she made her big business on my carpet. Ach ja, genau, Ayubowan. Ayubowan, yes. And so in that case, of course, I'm not so nice anymore. Otherwise, I would pee all over the place. So I was very strict with the cats and with the dog. And the cats had to sleep 2 consecutive nights in the empty apartment above. Of course, I put the food and drinks and water, everything was there. But they were all alone in the giant empty apartment. And Chica also had her punishment because you must show who the master is, of course. But after that, from time to time, there's occurrences where I say, yeah, who tried to pee on the carpet again, and then the cat in question, whoops, runs under the bed. We don't get him. But okay, well, there's a bit of shouting and yelling, and cats hate that. The shout and yelling is intolerable for cat ears. That's why I do it. And it really works. They still have their moments, but lesser and lesser. And Chica has learned her lesson too. And she's a perfect indoor dog. When I'm at work by day and I come home at night, the bathroom, we have 2 bathrooms in each apartment, but mostly we're in my apartment. As I said, the apartment above is empty. And in this apartment, I have 2 bathrooms, a smaller one, a bigger one, and the bigger one half is for the cats. I have the litter boxes there, and the other half is for the dog. And the dog has some pads, yes. Pads usually used for doggy training, to train the doggies to pee on that place and not on the carpet or on the sofa or so. And these training pads, Excellent. In the morning, I put in 3 of them, the big ones. So when I come home in the evening, the cats have made their business in their litter boxes. The dog has made his business, or her is a girl, her business on the pads, and everything is perfect. Auch da, Dankeschön. Ja, das freut mich zu hören. Thank you very much to both of you. Thank you very much. Yes, I have some royalty-free background music running, and thanks to YouTube, I heard. Oh, I once uploaded a video with music which was not copyrighted. The thing is, that was background music from a shopping channel, and they played something like was war das denn? Silent Night, Holy Night, something like that, some Christmas classic, very faint in the background, fainter than this, or hardly hearable, hardly audible, so very, very quiet, but it was a not royalty-free song. And YouTube really canceled my video. It was a long one. It was last year, and I got so mad. And then I wrote to them and I said, yeah, what for? Why did you strike or cancel my video? Yes, because of copyright issues with the music. I said, yes, it's a German Christmas classic. It was not even Silent Night. It was something like O Tannenbaum or so, which no person out of Germany knows. It's a very German Christmas song, and not very known, and worldwide it's not known. But the lady, she said, yeah, but still it's a break of the royalty rules. Thank you very much, Studio Bella. Thank you, Dankeschön. It's our living room I'm sitting in. And so they said you can upload the video again with a different kind of music, or just leave it be. And I said, okay, I'll leave it be. I just showed, I don't know what I showed. I think it was brushing Chica one more time or so. It was nothing super special, but I was rather mad. And then I searched for royalty-free music. Yes, of course, my dearest. Enjoy your meal. I know it's a lot later in your place, Sudo. Bon appetit, or as we Germans say, guten Appetit. And then I hope you have a really happy and successful sunny week. And yes, teach tricks to Rover. Teach him tricks, and then you show us the videos. Then I will show Chica the videos of Rover, because Chica doesn't know any tricks. When we got her previous owners, they showed her some tricks, and yeah, she could do them, but then she lost interest in them, and we lost interest. And she doesn't play with balls, and she doesn't do all these doggy things like playing with dog toys. Something that Chica never did. When she was 3 years old, now she's 13, she still doesn't do it. And if Rover is more receptive to that and more easy to train, please show us the results, Sudo. And now, bye-bye and have a wonderful week. Thank you very much for joining. Bella, yes, because the room, yes, this is our living room, or part of our living room. It's sitting, I can show you the surrounding just a second. So, yeah, you see the training bike. I do training too, from time to time. Yeah, here's my home office place, our coat of arms, the alarm system, the painting, the piano, the entrance door. And I think you saw this already. The cat tower. Yes. Thank you, Sudu. Thank you. And congratulations on your excellent English. Getting better every time. Thank you, Bella. Thank you. This painting is it's an old one. It's from the 1940s or so, after the war. Some friend of my grandfather, who was a painter, and he started. Thank goodness, in the war he didn't lose any arm or hand or something. He was complete. And after the war he started painting again. And this painting is from, I think, 48 or 49. It's very old. And we had it yeah, das ist, Dankeschön. I can show it more with a close up, just a second. If you're interested in art, just a moment. Yeah, it's a still life, of course, as you see. It was a Mr. Matisse, but not Matisse, or otherwise this painting would be very valuable. It's just a Mr. Matisse. So I will show you the weather. There's a pool, covered of course. Yeah, it's the weather like in summer. It's a very, very summery weather. So I didn't see what you saw, but I hope I held the iPhone in the right angle. Chica, huh? Chica. It's with 3 pets you have fluff and hairs everywhere. When I inherited them from my parents in 2014. Dankeschön, Dankeschön. Yeah, it's a big house, Bella. It's, I said that in one of my earlier videos, it was built in '68 by my grandparents and was intended to house my grandparents and my grandmother's mother, my great-grandmother, who was 80 at that time. The house was built, and she passed, unfortunately, during the construction. Not due to the construction, thank goodness, no, not hit by a brick or so, but she died in 1968 or 89. 69, Herrgott nochmal. Also in 68 or 69, my great-grandmother, she died. And so my grandparents decided to drop the balcony. Usually we would have a balcony too. Yeah, I like that too. It's very big, and it's too big for 2 persons, of course, or even 3. But it was intended for my grandparents and my great-grandmother, as I said. Okay, my great-grandmother passed during the construction time, but still my grandparents decided to build the house as it is, but without the balcony, which was usually intended for my great-grandmother. And in that time, in the late 60s, it was fashion to build very big houses with really, really big windows. You can see one of the windows here, for example. Because this was the time when the energy or electricity and it was not thought of. The late 60s. I mean, I was a kid back then, but I remember that, of course, the talks of my parents and grandparents. So saving energy was never a question. It was just a big house, a show-off house. but it was fashion in Germany, so whoever could afford it. And my grandfather, he was a tradesperson who was internationally active too. 68. So 1960 would be small. They had small, cozy houses, but already 6 and 8 years later, until 1970, the houses grew bigger and bigger and bigger. And this one is a classic example. And as I said, Jerry, here. My grandfather, he was a tradesman. He was internationally active, and he had many customers coming to this place and meet him. And thank you. And now he's sitting there like a loaf. That means Jerry is at ease. And so they had to build this big house. My grandparents, as I said, the customers came. And of course, they visited the customers, but most of the time it was the other way around. And they all met here, so they had to have a big meeting, almost meeting halls within the house. That's why this drawing room is so extremely big. And I can show you that again. Not sleeping chica, but there's a sliding door. I hope you see it. You see the sliding door? That's another living room. That's a smaller living room next to this living room. So when you opened this sliding door, you had one gigantic drawing or living room. And it's the same in the apartment above, but this is one-to-one the same. But as I said, it was a necessity for my grandfather's business to make big parties, opening nights, whatever. And later on, I mean, we lived in Hanover, we didn't live here. So they really were alone in this big house. And the apartment above was, from time to time, they rented it to a student or so, but most of the time it was just empty. Because my grandmother, she always used to say, the best neighbor is a key. So you lock it and you don't have any problems. It's a very good, I like that. Der beste Nachbar ist ein Schlüssel. The best neighbor is a key. Yeah, lovely. And well, it worked a while until my grandfather was away on business, and she was sitting here all alone. She had the alarm system, everything, yes, but still she was sitting here all alone. And that was the times before internet, yeah? Before you could entertain yourself on various different ways, yes, with little robots or pets or whatever. Pets, she had a dog back then, but the dog, of course, doesn't fill your day, it's fine. And so she said, here in this big house, my grandfather was away and she was afraid in this big house. And then they had attempted B&E in the late 70s. That's when she really went nuts and she said, I'm going to sell this house, I'm afraid. And my grandpa was still too young for retirement, he still worked. And so that plan came into being that my parents and we moved from Hanover to this place, which was okay with my father because he changed his job. It was ideal, so to say. And in '82, we moved here. And from a single person sitting in this big house, my grandmother, she came to be the center of attention of more people. So we, not one person, but 4 persons. Plus, I started studying then. I had my first semester here. And I invited a lot of friends for studying, for having fun, for whatever, student parties. So this house, from a tomb, came to be a center of high life. And there was much going on. Too much for my grandmother. She said, "Oh my God, I wish we still were away. It was so quiet and so peaceful when you were not there." And my mother said, "Okay, we can move back again," and just to tease her, of course. So you sit in your empty tomb, no problem with me. And then my grandmother, she said, I was just kidding. No, it's okay, but please quiet down. It's so loud because I, of course, as a student, today you'd call it maybe techno parties or whatever. We had hard rock parties. It was loud, and my mother, she had friends by the dozen. And then my grandfather's customers came here too, so it really was high life in this little castle. You had a lot of people running around. And then, of course, later, when my grandfather went into retirement, and after that, when my daddy went into retirement, and then I finished my studies and started working. You still had friends, of course, coming by, but no more customers. It was just really close friends or relatives, and it was subdued. Yeah, and then my grandmother started to be happy again. So, she always liked a little bit more the quiet side of life. But the early 80s really were an ordeal for her. But on the other hand, she said, I'm happy that this house has come to life, that there's life in the evening, at night. This house is never unattended, and it frightens away every burglar around, because there's so much going on, which is a case. Yeah. Good night, Street Dog Bella. Thank you very much for joining me. So far, it has been a pleasure. All the best to you. My next live stream will be in 2 weeks, and I will do a live stream every fortnight. So when you're with me then, I will be very happy. It will be more Christmas. Yeah, it will be more Christmassy. Christmas? Weihnachtlich? I don't know. We'll put up more Santa decoration. Yeah, have a nice day and have a nice week and a successful week with all your cats and dogs, Bella. Thank you very much. Yeah, and that's the background story of this house, and that's why this house is so big. But all the other neighboring houses are that way too. There are several houses in the street. There are several houses in the street whose owners were the same generation as my grandparents. They all have passed, of course. Otherwise, there would be 100 or 105. As I said, the oldest German lady, 113, but it's an exception. Yeah, normally with 100 or 105, you're gone. And so this was the first generation. And even the second generation, which would be my parents, they would be around 80. Yeah, 80 in the late 70s. Many people say these houses are too big. I want to move in a smaller location. Or they get, as my poor mother, they get Alzheimer's and have to be transferred to an adequate home and can't live anymore on their own in their houses. These two possibilities you have. So what do these people do? They either give the house to their children. I know of 3 cases where, also in my case, of course, and 2 other cases, which works fine, because these children usually also have children, and then you have high life in this house as well, so it's not empty and it's all good. But most of the people sell their houses because they do have children, but they live abroad or on the other side of Germany, where they say, no, I have my own bubble here, and I don't move from Hamburg or from Munich to your place. I have my workplace, I have my friends, I won't quit that. So they say, okay, we sell our house, our too big house, to strangers, or we rent them. Also happens. And all the houses around me, they are rented. And then you have, of course, you make friends with people, or not friends, but acquaintances. And after 1 or 2 years, they're gone. Then the others come. It's in Germany. You usually rent. You don't own a house or an apartment. You rent it. It's typical of Germany. You don't ask me why, but it's the way it is. And so, okay, people come, people go, which is a pity. I know that in earlier times, in the 80s, of course, or in the 1990s, you still had the old owners or their children. And then, okay, okay, you relied on these people, they were there for you, and you were there for them. There was a certain a knit together community, I want to call it, and this has gone in the recent years, because I don't know the people don't know me. As soon as we know each other, the people move away. So, as I said, it's a pity, but I still enjoy living here, of course. And next year, probably my son will move in too. I told you about him in my previous video. He has an own company, and with I think it's 10 or 12 employees, and he has his own place, but his own place becomes too small because he has an office, of course, and consulting office and all that. And here the apartment, the old apartment of my parents, as I said, is freshly renovated, it's empty, and it's waiting to be inhabited. And I won't rent it out, because you never know with people who rent your apartment. Yeah, they live above you. Yeah, they can make noise day and night. You can do nothing. Yes, because they have all the rights. At least in Germany, the German law is like that. That if you rent a place, you can practically do what you want, and it's hard to get people out once they're in. And even if they don't pay rent anymore, and they still are noisy and are destroying things and everything, I've seen terrible places, believe me, where people are crying, and the owners were crying and saying, look, our meter, oh God, the person who rented our apartment has left overnight without paying the rent, and look how he or she left that place. I've seen these locations. Oh my goodness. People spent 10 or 20,000 euro for renovation because it was so badly run down and purposely destroyed, purposely. And I don't want that to happen in my house here. No way. I have to rely on my grandmother, who said, as I mentioned earlier, the best neighbor is a key. And so it's locked up now. But it's empty. And my son said, okay, maybe next year he will move at least his consulting office to these rooms above, which would be a blessing, which would be really, really cool. So there's more life in this house, of course. So he brings his friends with him, and that would be nice. But now I'm practically sitting here alone, and okay, he visits me all the time, but he's busy, of course. He has his company, so he's off to work most of the time. And yes, my very good friend, boyfriend, I mean, my God, I'm 60, but my friend, my almost husband, whatever, decided to stay in the USA. I told you in a previous video, he's a professor there in Texas. And last I talked to him, he said, no, he has his own life there, just as I have my life here. I can totally understand it. It's okay. I have my life, he has his, totally understandable, and he will stay in the USA. So, because some years back, he had the idea of maybe moving back to Germany, to here, but even if, I mean, he has his mother's own house in a neighboring city, he would have probably moved there, but I would never move out of here. So he just asked me, yeah, you can join me in my house. I said, no way. Your house is too small for me, and it's still in the state of the early 60s. It hasn't been renovated with the old heating systems, and no. You spend tons of money for this house, and I already spent tons of money for this house to keep this house modern and energy efficient and everything. And no, I won't leave this place. And now he decided to stay in the USA, which is okay. I will visit him there next year. As I said, after my retirement, I will do a lot of trips. At least I plan it now. Who knows what it will be in half a year. But who doesn't plan doesn't live. So I plan to do some journeys next summer. I will visit him there, and he will come here for visiting. It's no problem. But I will stay here. Here's the USA. Absolut kein Problem. And so, as I said, maybe my son next summer will move upstairs, which would be very, very great, because we also have a big basement apartment. We have a basement, but it's as big as this flat, but it's furnished as an apartment. There's a bed, there are cupboards, there's a toilet, there's everything in the basement too. And in former times, it was used as a place for guests. As I said, my grandparents had a lot of customers and everything going on. Most of them came from abroad. They stayed for several nights. At that time, now we have hotels here. In the 70s, not, or in the 80s, they only had one hotel. It was a bad hotel, so they stayed here. And so my grandparents had this basement furnished as an apartment, as a guest apartment. So it's still usable. Yeah. So if you then of course we have the attic, and the attic is an apartment too. So we have four apartments. Oh God! But two for living, and one, as I said, is the basement. And the last guest spending a night there, my God, is about 15 years ago. It was a former co-student of mine who came all the way from Munich, from the very south of Germany, to this place, and with his then girlfriend, now wife, and they spent a night or two here. 2 nights here in the basement apartment. And the attic is not quite an apartment. It's one big room, and which has been, of course, had the asbestos and so on removed several years back because it's poisonous. And in that step, we have done a renovation of the attic and put in some little place to sit, and even an air bed, but it's more like a sofa for the cats. And yeah, it's one giant room, but it looks very nice, but it's not an apartment in that sense, of course. But it's, yeah, it's a big place, but I'm used to it, I like it. I've been living in this house with the interruption. As I said, I've lived here several years in Hanover and later in Russia. But I started to live here in 69. The house was built in 68 and we moved in 69 for a short time. And then in 1970, moved to Hanover and then 82 we moved back here. Yeah, that's in short. And I was abroad several months due to my studies. But this always has been my home base, so to say. So I'm not attached to Hanover anymore because, yeah, I used to be attached to it, of course. I went to school there and had my first semester there in the Uni Hanover. But my goodness, it was from 70 to 82, just 12 years. 12 years out of a lifetime of 60, it's nothing. So the main time was spent here. And I feel like I've never left this place, which is very good. And I feel at home here in spite of the big rooms. I try to make them all cozy, and as long as I have the pets, it's good too. Yeah, because if you have 3 pets, they need a lot of space for running around. And even when the pets are no more, like in maybe 10 years or so, maybe I will end up with only 1 cat left or so, who knows. I decided that no new pets will come in, because then I will be 70 and, you know, I die before the pets, which would be terrible for me and especially for the pets. And so I said, okay, the 3 pets, which I inherited from my parents, I will care for them as long as they live. And after that, probably no pet, or if there's 1 pet, that I say, okay, I'm 70, but I'm so alone in this house, a little bit like my grandmother, I will get me a cat, not a dog. It's, all this running around and going for a walk, it's with 70 or older, it's an ordeal. So maybe I will get myself a cat, an older cat, not a kitty cat, and because cats can get 20 years old, so when I'm 70 and get myself a little kitty, When Kitty is 20, I will be 90, sorry, 90? Who knows what will be when I'm 90? So, as I said, either no pet at all or an elderly cat, which ages with me, so that later on my son won't have any problems with caring for pets. Similar to me, because, as I said, the pets were usually my parents' pets. And yeah, I wouldn't give them away to a shelter, decided to care for themselves, and to care for them by myself. And I never regretted the decision. It was a good decision, in spite of all the destroyed carpets and sofas and cushions and beds and tables. And no, it was a good decision. And well, let's see. But 3 pets, of course, is much too much. It's either none or only one, and then the one is a cat. Because whenever I go for a walk with Chica, I ranted about that in an earlier video, that more and more people tend to let their dogs loose, even within the community where there is a duty to put your dog on a leash. There is this duty and people don't care. They don't give a F. They just let their dogs run around without a leash. And so the dogs come, Chica is always on a leash, of course. And the dogs come and they try to tease Chica, of course, and Chica, who has a leash, is getting nervous because she can't run away, but they can, from her mind. And then the owners of the other dogs, they just stand there and say, don't panic, my dog only wants to play, he never hurts any dog and anyone, it's all okay. And I say, yes, but my dog is nervous because she is leashed and your dog is unleashed. And my nervous dog will bite your dog, yeah, out of nervosity. Yeah, but then you have to keep her on a leash. I said, yeah, that's what I do. And you have to put your dog on a leash too. Or at least whistle, so that he runs back and doesn't molest my dog anymore. And I had some really, 2 of these encounters have ended up at the police, where once I got hit by a dog owner, one day after my birthday, it was the beginning of this June, and this man, he looked around, he saw there were no witnesses, and then he hit me on the head, and he grabbed my arm until my arm turned blue, and then he tried to beat me up practically. And I started to scream like a banshee. I screamed all over the place. And then this psychopath, I mean, this man wasn't normal, of course. And then he put out a smartphone and started to film me. Yeah, no rules. That exactly you say it. Yeah, and then of course I went to the police and made a report. And they dug him out. They knew who, and he said, I was lying. No, yeah, there was this woman, and she was totally hysterical, and she screamed. And I said, of course I screamed, because he hit me in the face. I had a nosebleed on the police department. I stood there with a bleeding nose. And I sent you the photos later on, after 2 or 3 days. When you touch a person very violently, you leave these black and blue spots. And they turn even yellow. And each day I sent a new set of photos to the police department, and they just shrugged it off or whatever. So they didn't believe me, but they believed this psychopath. I must say that. They saw an elderly woman, they saw a rather young man, and they said, okay, the elderly woman must be a little bit, who knows who did. Yes, the policeman also said that. I see that spots on your arm. You know that you can also do that yourself. And I said, you're not implying that I went to my bathroom or whatever, looked in the mirror, where's the good, and then tried it on myself. So no way. That's why I went directly to the police department to report this psychopath. And then you saw the bleeding nose. Yes, but you could have gone to a doctor. It was Sunday, by the way. And I said, no, I first wanted to see you, my wounds and all that, and I wanted to make the report. And afterwards, yes, I wanted to go to the doctors. yeah, but you know, even with the bleeding nose, you know it. If you do it like that, you can cause nosebleed too. So actually, this policeman, he was insinuating, yeah, that I was hurting myself for blaming another man who I never saw before in my life. I don't know. Really, there are many people who has lost every faith in the German police system, and up to now or up to June, I laughed that off a little bit and said, yeah, okay, there's conspiracy theories, and yeah, the police depends on who comes and makes a report. And if you're an old white woman, you have very, very bad cards with them. And I always laughed it off. But from then on, I must say, they've got a point there. Okay. So, no, the police is no good. And of course, I went to the doctor and he said, no, you couldn't have done that yourself because the hands are from the other side. You like that, and then I told him the same, what the policeman told me or insinuated. And then my doctor got rather upset and he said, yeah, unfortunately, I have more ladies sitting here and telling similar things. And be glad that he only hit your nose and your... I had some ladies sitting here where there were... I won't get banned by YouTube, but you know, sexually assaulted. And also in that cases... in these cases, policemen, not all of them, of course, but some of them said, yeah, maybe you had a row with your boyfriend, and yes, but you see, everything is torn, and yeah, you can tear the shirt yourself, I wasn't there, I will make the report, but so they are not believed either. Yeah, it's 2022 in Germany, and you have experiences as a woman like this with the police. And the doctor, he affirmed that, what I said, and it's very sad to hear. So not only are there no rules with letting dogs off the leash, but also with the consequences. As I said, so the next time such an encounter takes place or so, I don't know, I have pepper spray with me. I have some, yeah, I even have air guns. In former times, I used to shoot with air guns. I won't take an air gun with me, which would be a little bit over the top, but at least I have pepper spray, hairspray also. Pepper spray is allowed. I do have the kleine Waffenschein, so that's okay to carry that around, but it can easily hit yourself. So if the attacker grabs the pepper spray out of your hand and peppers you in, you're the one who's hurt. So maybe hairspray, but to get hairspray in the eyes, it's not bad either. And that's all I can do. And then I take the smartphone with me, which is always on. And as I said, that's all I can do. And screaming. But screaming didn't help me in the first place, so maybe it did. Maybe it would have been gotten worse. Okay, that was the case where this maniac attacked me. And the second case, which took place 2 or 3 years before, that was also a dog without a leash in the wood. By the way, in Germany, when you walk your dog in the woods or in the forest, you have to put it on the leash, just to, as I said, just to beschützen, to protect the wildlife. So your dog doesn't run and tear up some little deer or so. That depends on the dog, of course, but just to prevent any risk. You're really not supposed to, but you're obliged to put your dog on a leash when you take it for a walk in the woods. And I was in the woods, and of course, we had a giant white shepherd or Samoyed, something big and white and fluffy, running towards my dog, poor Chica, and this dog wasn't on a leash. And its owner was running behind it, I don't know, he dog or she dog, it was just a mass of white fur. And this owner, scrawny little man, he was screaming all the time, "Hey, come here, zurück, zurück, ne!" And of course the dog didn't listen at all. just ran up to Chica and began to bite her. I'm pretty sure it was a Samoyed. Normally, Samoyeds are very quiet dogs, quiet in the sense of not nervous and not aggressive. This one was aggressive and nervous and began to bite Chica, and Chica, she howled. I tore her up, of course, out of the way. Then the dog began to attack my leg. Then I started screaming. But by then the owner had come and had taken his dog. And the dog was so strong that it shook loose and then tried to hop on my arm to bite Chica. It must have been a scene like out of the movies. But of course, no witnesses at that time, also no witnesses. And so I began to shout, of course, I will sue you to hell. If my dog dies because of your psychopathic dog, I will sue you to hell, I will kill you. I shouted everything. And then my voice can be very loud and shrill and yeah. So I guess he got nervous, this man. Then he grabbed his dog a second time, this time successfully, and then I ran away, of course I ran away, and he went away in the other direction. And I said, I'm going to the police, I'm going to report you right now. And I just saw him hurry off in a cloud of dust. That guy was gone, but he didn't hurt it, only his dog. And then I took Chica and we went to the police station, and I filed a report there. And okay, I just showed my torn pants and the bite wounds on my leg. It was clear to see. The policeman made photos, and also of poor Chica who had 2 open wounds, bleeding wounds. And so after that, I went to the vet. They had to stitch Chica with 2 or 3 stitches. And then I went to the human doctor, but I didn't have to be stitched. It was just a bite wound, which was disinfected and cared for. And the pants, of course, it were new pants. I could throw them away. Yeah. As I said, I filed the report and Anzeige gegen Unbekannt, and nothing came out of it in that case. Also, as I said, there were no witnesses. They tried to track the guy down because they had a description. I could describe him fairly well. And the dog, the white Samoyed. Who does own a white Samoyed here in this town or in this district even? And so they found 2 people who had, but these were not the culprits. They showed me pictures, photos of the owner. Said no. Maybe they had a male friend over there for the weekend who took their dog for a walk. Maybe, but these owners, no. These 2 men, no way. They were not the culprits, as I said. So this case went off the shelf. Nothing. And as I said, the new case, which happened now in June, the guy simply said, no, she's hysterical, it's all not true, and the police believe that. And yeah, if you have bad cards, so to say, if you're elderly, if you have a dog, which you have to take for a walk, and if you stick to the rules, and if you put your dog on a leash. These are all very bad things to do in modern Germany, I guess. And I don't want to run into a third encounter of the third kind, really. I'm fed up with this. So I reduced Chica's walks to a minimum. We have a very, very big garden, and where she likes to run around and to frolic. And every 2 or 3 days I pick up her poo and put it under the trees, far away from the pool, of course. And I don't want to have a poo pool, so under the trees, and then everything is okay. And every 3 or 4 days I take her for a walk, but for a short walk, and only in the village. It's not a city, only in the village. So yeah, you have other people. Do you have potential witnesses if such a thing happens again? Yeah. The psychopath who hit me, it was in the open fields, but very far away from civilization. He really only had fields. And the first encounter with the white samoyed was in the forest, as I said. So 2 places where absolutely no witnesses were to be found. No hikers, no bikers, no passers-by, nobody. And I won't run that risk again. And I decided in June we will take Chica for a walk only downtown. So as I said before, I just recommend my playlist with these walking tours, Bavaria. I did a walking tour of our little village here, part of the village, and you will see it's very quaint, very beautiful little houses, old houses, but modernized, but in an old style. And meanwhile, you have some hotels, many restaurants there. There is a coming and a going, so you have a public eye to overlook it all. So there's where I take Chica for a walk, and if I see, oh, she's ready for the poo, there's a little kind of dog park at the side, and I always have these little red plastic bags for the doggy poo ready. So she does her business, I do my little baggie, I put it away in the container, which is there. So we all stick to the rules, all okay, and we run no risks. And as I said, every 3 or 4 days, it's enough for Chica, it's enough for me, everybody's happy. And well, now I told you about my 2 strange encounters with other dog owners. But as you said, regellos, also es sind Regeln da, aber es wird sich nicht dran gehalten. Yeah, there are rules, but nobody sticks to the rules, and it has no consequences. In former times, it did have consequences. Yeah, now, they knew this guy, they found out his address, and he admitted to it. He said, yes, that was a woman, I remember. And so, but it was all totally different. On the other side, okay, I can understand the policeman a little bit, because it's a Aussage gegen Aussage. I say one thing and this man says the other. Without witnesses, what can you do? Of course, the police says, yeah, you won't work on this case any longer, which I can understand from their point of view, but still, the fact that they try to insinuate that I put the harm to myself, and when I ask, why should I hurt myself? Yeah, you know, people sometimes have strange hobbies. They want to go to the police and tell wild stories. And I said, okay, if I would be such a person, yeah, you would know me well by now, because I would be there every month or so. Yes, but I've never seen you before. Yes, of course. Your colleague has seen me before, several years back, when we had this dog attack. I saw that file. Yeah, it was also hurt, but you were not hurt. I said, no, only my dog. And I had the bite on my leg, but it was very faint. It was not deep. And yes, I've seen that. Yes, and from that you judge that I'm a troublemaker or so. No, I didn't say that. Only just, Chica, she's barking. She wants to go outside just a second. Ja, Chica, bitte wieder Rubin. Ja, raus. So, yeah, and now ach ja, genau, richtig. So, okay, you're not believed. And then when I talked to the policeman, after he phoned me and said we found out who this guy is, and he said he's not the culprit, and and then he added, you insulted him. I said, yes, maybe. Yeah, because after he tried to beat me up, of course, I don't stand there and laugh. Of course, I screamed and called him names. Yes, this is all possible. Yeah, but he said he never touched you. You screamed and you insulted him all on your own. He defended this guy, and I just sat there with the iPhone at my ear and just shook my head. I don't believe it's true, but it's the way such cases are handled, at least here. And Bavaria is very strict. There are other counties in the north where they're even less strict than here. Here it's very lax. So as I said, these are cases. I'm very happy that it hasn't been worse. Yeah, my son said, yeah, imagine he had beaten you up really unconscious or so. And I said, yeah, probably they would say, this woman, we don't know how she did it, but she knocked herself unconscious. It's just to make herself interesting. Or so. I don't know. I'm being cynical right now, but you get cynical. And that's a reason why after Chica's passing, which will be hopefully in many years, although we have to wait for tomorrow's examination, the tissue examination will tell me about her state of health. But apart from that, I hope she will be with me many more years. But after that, that's why I said no more dogs, because you have to take a dog for a walk. Even if you have a big garden like we do, the dog, of course, has to sniff at other dogs' pee and to explore the surrounding, and you can't keep a dog indoors or in your own yard all the time. That would be animal cruelty. I wouldn't do that. So of course I would have to go for a walk and then run the risk to meet similar psychopaths all over again, and I won't run that risk. That's why I said maybe in the retirement later on, many years from now, I will have one cat. With a cat, you don't have to take for a walk. The cat is indoors, and it's a big indoors with, you just saw one cat tower, but we have several cat towers in the other rooms too. And I am a cat tower, a living one. Scratches. And that's it. And after that, nothing. Yeah, but as for now, they all three are alive and well, and the weather has changed to being sunny. You saw that previously when I showed you the pool, or part of the pool. The weather is very sunny. Now the sun is receding, but you still see, I can show you, a little kitty. Yeah, and my burglar scare doll. You know her, right? Yeah, I can show her. So, this is just a life-size doll, just to scare burglars away. And the living room looks more lively. So, when I first got her about 10 years back or so, every time I came in and I saw this doll, I thought, but that's the effect she should have, and that's good. I told before that she scared one burglar away several years back. In fact, I think she was rather new. I think after her arrival, 2 or 3 days after her arrival, I had an attempted B&E, and effectively, I know that the burglar saw her sitting there and thought that the human being was sitting there, and then went off. But it would be a long story, an even longer story to tell, so I won't do that. But believe me, she really, she was expensive, but she really was worth the price up to now. But we still have the alarm system, and of course the canine alarm system called Chica, who is very attentive, and whenever she hears the slightest noise, Chica, she's wow, wow, wow. And she has a voice that you think she's bigger. Many people first hear her bark, and then they see her and say, "Oh, it's just a tiny doggy." And I thought it was a big one. I said, no German Shepherd, just part of a Dachshund and part of a Spitz and of a Pekingese and whatever. Oh, but they just such a loud voice, and very good, very good. That's so, but as you see, the weather is still sunny, but it is cold. In my last video, I ranted about the never-ending summer, and September was coolish, but October was far too warm. We had temperatures like 27 degrees, 27 degrees Celsius, which is absolutely delusional. I mean, for October, for the end of October. children were running around on Halloween dressed in sleeveless shirts and in shorts. It was this warm. And now overnight practically weather has changed. It has become, as you see here, the room is not heated. It has become cold, 5 to 6 degrees Celsius. In night it's a little bit less. We had some frost some nights ago, but the sky is clear. You have bright sunshine, and it's really, you have this summer feeling. Yeah, when you get up in the morning, you tend to wear a summer dress, but yeah, once you go outside, then you and you see the frosted leaves, then you say, no, summer dress is not enough. But it's very warm weather, and we don't have any rain. We did have some rain, but it's several weeks back, and that's why the grass is so lush. You saw that. You saw the lawn, and it's green. And normally, now it's mid-November, normally the grass would be tawny, brownish, yellowish, you know that, you have yards, and the leaves would be all gone, the twigs would be bare. No. Yeah, I see it still. The trees still have their leaves hanging or clinging on, and the leaves are yellow and green, but they have not gone. There is no wind. There's usually these autumn storms, which we used to have every year. We didn't have an autumn storm up to now. Now it's almost winter, almost. There was not one single storm. So all the leaves, the dead leaves, are still stuck to the trees, which is not good for the trees. What my gardener told me, he said it's better by November when all the twigs are bare, but no, they're still hanging on. And the grass, as I said, and as you saw, it's still green. So you really have the summer or springtime impression in spite of the temperature, which is, as I said, 6 degrees around there. I think the dog is barking. Ja, jetzt ist mal mit wieder rein. Hier. Rein. So, komm her. Ja, Türchen putzen. Türchen. Ja. So, just let in the dog. Yeah, and now we'll see what the winter will bring. They already said that once again it will be a green Christmas. So White Christmas, the last White Christmas I celebrated in this house. Wann war das? Oh my God. It was in the 2010. 2010. Yes. In 2010, 12 years ago. We really had a White Christmas, but it was so much snow. And it was a time when I still took the train and the bus to get to my workplace and back. And I had to take a taxi because the buses and everything, they all got stuck in the snow. One day it was just cold, but nothing else. And the next day when you woke up, it was all white with snow. And the snow never stopped falling and falling and falling. And yes, the winter of 2010 was very cold and very rich in snow. And I remember that when we had to take a taxi. This is my then boyfriend and I. Yes, we took a taxi, and the taxi went very, very slow because to the left, to the right, there were walls of snow, and it was much too much. It was, as usual in Germany, either it's one thing or it's the other extreme. It's never the middle. Just a moment. Ja, Wiedergabe fortsetzen. Just a second. Yeah, in Germany it seems to be the rule. It's either you're one extreme or you're the other extreme, but never the normal medium. It's scary. And the German weather is the same. It's either you have a Christmas-like summer with sunshine and chirping birds, and so that you think, spring has sprung. But no, it's Christmas. Either that, or you sink in tons of snow. It's absolutely crazy. Yes, but as I said, it's 12 years ago. And from that time on, we always had green Christmas. And I remember that one Christmas that I had to mow the lawn. We didn't have the lawn buddy, the little robot we didn't have yet, just a normal lawn mower, and I had to mow the lawn. I remember that was a day or 2 days after Christmas, after the holidays. In Germany we have Christmas Eve, and then the first Christmas day, and then a second Christmas day. I think we are the only country worldwide which has a second Christmas day, zweiten Weihnachtsfeiertag. That's I think it's unique in Germany. And of course but I think 1 or 2 days after that, I was outside and put on the lawnmower and shortened the grass, because the grass had grown in December like that, like crazy. And I said, okay, it looks more like a jungle and not like an elegant lawn anymore. And of course, weed came when it's too warm and too humid. Weed will come, of course. And we had this weed problem. So I said, okay, Christmas is over, the holidays are over, and the Weihnachtsfeiertage. So I will, hello Kitty, I will show you Kitty again. There's Kitty again. Jerry. So I was outside and manicured the lawn practically after Christmas, directly after Christmas. I remember that. Dankeschön, thank you very much. I don't remember which year it was. It was later. It must have been. My father was still alive, because he laughed his head off when he saw me mowing. It must have been before 2014, but after 2010. So in that era. And so it was so warm. I mean, it's absolutely crazy. And the weather people said that this Christmas will be no different than all the other Christmases. No second 2010 inside, which I'm very grateful for. This terrible snow ride from 2010, I don't need that the second time. No more taxi driving or whatever. No. Especially as it's my last Christmas in my office life. Richtig. As I said, retirement next July. So this Christmas will be my last Christmas during my work life, so to say. Right, and I don't need a snow Armageddon at that time. But as I said, it's not inside. We have today in the morning. I was awakened by chirping birds. I mean, it's mid-November. You have birds sitting there and chirping and telling each other probably, hey, we have a second springtime coming. Hi, wake up. Yes, of course, nature is totally berserk. As I said, birds are active. Normally, all the birds have flown to Africa, to warmer regions, but I have the impression they come to us from colder regions right now. Everything is topsy-turvy and upside down. It's very interesting. Yeah, and now I still have one viewer left. Ich weiß nicht wer, but still I have talked so much as usual. I always intend to go online for maybe half an hour, and then 2 hours I say, oh my goodness. But thank you very much for bearing with me for so long. I'm always very happy to welcome you to my place. And Sleeping Kitty, which I will show again. He hates it so much. Yeah, oh yes, yeah. Okay, this means put me down and leave me alone. So I would say bye-bye now. Thank you very much for joining. And see you in 2 weeks. A last sip from the cat cup. Yeah, cold coffee, but it's still excellent. because you keep me company. So, have a blessed new week, my dear friend. Here. Thank you, Tranquil Unique. Thank you for being with me. Have a wonderful next week with your friends and family and loved ones and pets. And if you like, in 2 weeks, we will meet again. Until then, alles Gute. Küsschen und Tschüsschen. Bye bye.